It's Fabulous Friday. Thanks for being with us. You've made it through a whole week, and we're closer to getting through whatever it is we're going through right now. So maybe we're closer to a vaccine, maybe we're closer to kind of getting used to COVID or whatever. But anyway, I hope you and your family are safe right now. We are wrapping up this series of sermons from 2 Timothy. And we've been talking about Paul's letter to Timothy and how Paul didn't want Timothy to be ashamed, and how confident Paul was in the faithfulness of Jesus. Which brings up an interesting question. We say a lot of things in church, and we kind of yes, amen, and we don't really think about what we're saying. For instance, when you hear anybody say, you just need to trust Jesus. You just need to trust Jesus. Well, whatever's going on in your life, you just need to trust Jesus. That sounds great, doesn't it? You kind of want to cross-stitch it and put it on your refrigerator. But what does it mean? How do you do that? Paul's saying, I am not ashamed of the gospel, and I know in the one I have believed, and I've learned to be confident that he's going to be able to take care of things until the day that he returns. Now, where did Paul learn that? Paul learned that in a countless number of incidents every day where Jesus came through, and he learned to trust Jesus in small things, and from small things to bigger things, and from bigger things to biggest things. Okay? You don't start out trusting Jesus with everything. That we're just not born that way. We have to learn to trust things. Trust is earned. Can this stool hold me up? Yes. How do I know that? I sat on it. In fact, I have sat on this same stool for a couple of weeks now. And so when I walk in and we get set up to do these videos, I see the stool and I say, hey, that's the same stool I sat on last week. It held me up last week. It will hold me up again. I trust this stool. See? I trusted it a couple of weeks ago. I trusted it even more last week. And now I am really, really confident in this stool. A lot of us don't want to trust Jesus with small things. Why? Because they're small things. And we say, well, surely Jesus has more to do than to help me with this. So we don't talk about the small things with Jesus. We don't trust him in the small things. And because we don't trust him in the small things, we don't learn to trust him in the medium-sized things, and we never learn to trust him in the big things. So start where you are. The old preacher says, anytime a person gets saved, the first thing they want to do is see somebody healed, and they start praying for somebody with cancer. They don't have the faith yet. They don't have that kind of confidence in their prayer. They haven't learned to pray like that. You need to start praying about people with a cold. You need to start where you are. Here's what's going on in my life, however minuscule that may be. And it may be I've got algebra I need to get through this week. It may be I need to find a way to organize my time so I learn how to work at home and still take care of my family. It may be I don't know what to cook. I've cooked every recipe I have since we've been at home on quarantine. It may be any of those little things, and you think they're not big enough to bring to Jesus. They are, because that's where you start. And when you learn to trust Jesus in these small things, then you learn to trust Jesus in the bigger things. He helped me here. He'll help me now. And then when you get to the big things, then what you have is a track record of where Jesus has been faithful to you over and over and over again. He was faithful here. He was faithful here. He'll be faithful now. Paul learned in the Philippian jail. Paul learned walking from city to city. Paul learned in Thessalonica. Paul learned in Corinth. Paul learned in Rome. Paul learned in Athens. Paul learned in Ephesus. And now he's confident. Why? He has a long history of all of those times when Jesus has been faithful. Tell you what I want you to do. I want you to sit down and just begin to list, no particular order. Don't worry about getting it right. Just get it down. Just write down all the moments where Jesus has been faithful, just as fast as you can. Go from top to bottom of the page just as fast as you can. Here are all the things that I have been faithful. Now turn the page over, and on the back, I want you to write, here's the next thing I need Jesus to be faithful in. You've trusted Him before in this, and this, and this. Now, trust Him now. I'll give you about 60 seconds to get started, and I'll see you Monday.